It's okay. Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you for the Mori Foundation about this very interesting colloquium. And I would like to come with my stone. Today, my stone is very small, but maybe I hope this stone becomes very efficient. A lot of speakers and a lot of people develop some huge strategy. I think it's a very good way about some huge territory with a very strong policy like that. But we know we don't know the metropole. And the knowledge about the metropole doesn't exist. We are very innocent about that. We know the city, the historical city. We know very well. But about the metropole is a new suburban substance. And we should imagine not one, but a lot strategies. And I think it's not enough to speak about the complexity. We should speak about complexities. It's another word. Very open, also. It's a little bit, we could be a little bit nervous about that because where is the way? But the way is ways. And I would like to speak about the strategy of the Grand Paris, the context, and the story about this presentation is about Hotel Metropole. Hotel Metropole is a key name about this strategy, this policy. This image is for me the symbol about the relationship between the people and the metropole. And I think it's a very emotional image, but for me, is a very essential image. How it's possible to build a metropole for everybody, not only for some very nice people, for everybody. That is the question. And about Paris, is not clear. First question, which area we should consider? It's the first question. The black point is Paris. When you say Paris, you are speaking about this point, but it's very small. It's 2.2 million inhabitants. But in fact, Paris is this black line around. That is the territory of Paris. A lot of people move every day on this territory. And finally, we should consider 12 million inhabitants for Paris. And the new name is Le Grand Paris, Greater Paris. That is the new deal to change the quality of the life, not only in Paris, but also in the national territory. And we would like to improve the quality of the life first. And also, we would like to reduce inegalities. And also, to develop increasing the activeness and competitiveness. And also in France, you know, when Paris change, France change. And the deal is very important for the country. And we should have some places to think and develop this new vision about France and especially about the capital of France. And it's an experimental place, l'Atelier International du Grand Paris. This workshop is created by the President de la République, Monsieur Sarkozy, Nicolas Sarkozy, and he developed this support and this input and the kickoff about the idea of Grand Paris and especially about this international workshop. And this structure, the goal is about the public interest. And we are working 10 teams at the beginning in this workshop, international workshop. Now we are 15 teams working and we develop some different research field. And I am thinking to make a project about a specific population in the metropole, not about all population, not about the density, not about a global approach. No, it's more specific, very specific. Because my question is certainly existing a very special quality of the people coming, living, working in the metropole. Because it's a new body, it's a new urban body. Certainly existing some special situation, some special people. And I am very excited by this idea about the specificity. Because in this kind of a specificity, we could find some fresh blood. And especially for people when they are arriving for a temporary time at one place. We evaluate more or less at 10% of the population of Grand Paris about this kind of status, if you want. Status maybe is not a good term, but finally I think it's a good term because status is the knowledge about this kind of people. And we try to evaluate the quality and the profile about these different people. These people move, but not only the new inhabitants. Different people move. You have some, on the top, you have some research, foreign research people arriving and working and studying in Paris. You have the self-made man. You have some people living in family. You have some students. You have some divorce, new wedding, and also some people staying for a short time in hospital, and some contract job, temporary job contract, and some people in jail, for example. Different situation for different social layers. But this kind of population should move in the metropole and should stay not for one day, like in a hotel, for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. And this kind of situation, I think, is totally metropolitan uses. And we imagine this kind of pyramid, and it's a metropolitan, people use the hotel metropole. It's a different step, but you have one person on each step. Is very democratic, and the idea is the hotel metropole has the ambition to give an answer to the needs of today's global mobility workers who transcend the social classes. And my idea is also to introduce a balance between the mobility. If you follow this kind of meetings, huge symposium, a lot of people speaking about mobility, mobility, density, mobility, mobility, density. Sorry, I am tired. I'm very tired. And I think sometimes it's necessary to stay in the same district, to work, to live, to exchange. But if you want to stay in the same place, you should grasp some special facility. And after you move, you stay 2 months, after you leave, and you come back, and it's true for the young people, but young generation, but also it's true for aged people. It's crazy. In this kind of territory, the diameter is 60 kilometers, the Grand Paris. If the old people move each day because one of them is in the hospital, it's crazy. And we should think about the immobility. And the immobility also is a solution about the porosity, because I think the porosity is a good term to develop a coherent social body. And where is a good question. Where is possible to introduce this kind of special facilities like Hotel Metropole? Because if I consider the administrative limit and the bureaucratic design about different cities in the Grand Paris, it's absolutely inefficient. Doesn't work. We try to organize another kind of map, and this map speaking about facilities, huge, important, and daily facilities for the people living in the metropole. And you could see on this place the distance between these different locations of equipment. And after, we try to organize the evaluation about the time to move, 20 minutes, you could walk, and we overlapping between this kind of facility, equipments, and business area. And after, we develop also the idea about the proximity. And finally, we mixed with the public transportation, obviously, and the location of the station. And its experimentation is not absolutely perfect, but is a laboratory. And we develop more or less the concept about the meta-village. We say in Paris, Paris is a city of 100 villages. It's a very famous sentence. And we imagine for the metropole of Paris 100 metropolitan villages. And we try to design some constellation like that with different points connecting by this kind of line. It's a new kind of territory. It's a territory where the people live really the metropolitan substance. It's not a map. It's a real district where the people use today, tomorrow, after tomorrow, some facilities, some relationship, some real life. It is exactly the substance of the metropole. And with this kind of constellation, we try to organize the base, the footprint, if you want, where we could introduce the Hotel Metropole. And the Hotel Metropole is a place where you could live and work and develop your personal life in the city. And we are working with another size or maybe measure about the time, because we are speaking about temporary and we are speaking about instability. And we would like to promote some different program or services for this kind of population. And the idea is not to dedicate one room for this function, another room for this function, like that. We could merge, switch. all is open, all could be work about this situation. It's more or less a joke between the logo on the left, on the right, sorry, the yellow logo is a logo of the public transportation, the metro of Paris, and in blue is the logo of Hôtel Métropole. And also, the idea is to develop the proximity, the relationship, like a tensor in the city. And you show this kind of representation about the DNA. And we could use that about function for the metropole. We are looking for the DNA of the metropole. That is the goal. It's very exciting, obviously, but it's very complex, you could see. And a lot of function under one roof is more or less the slogan about that. But the question is about the typology. We don't use the existing typology. We should change a little bit, not a lot, not to create a new modern movement. We would like just to consider the existing typology and transform this typology in a network, a building network. This example is a university in Seoul, a women's university in Seoul. And the building doesn't exist. I built a landscape, but underground this landscape, we have a building with a lot of connection between this empty space and pavilion and the campus. It is a public space, it is a valley, and it is a model about the network of this building. It's a very exciting situation because, in fact, the void is a real physical connection between different functions. And we could maybe accept a coherent chaos with that. And to finish, about case of studies, in different situations, for example, in the suburb, more or less, of the historical city, different situation, different constellation, some proposal of the network, and I should go quickly. And I'm coming back in Paris about another kind of situation. This building, this block, is in the center of Paris, is a post office, the main post office in Paris. The name of this building is La Poste du Louvre. You know, the traffic about letter decreasing and disappear, more or less, and replaced by the email and the virtual connection. And this building is in this kind of constellation with different point and link in between. And the idea is to introduce in this kind of building some different facilities, some social facility, a small police station, some shops, hotel, co-working space, and different, very mixed-use program. It is a Poste du Louvre, and we transform, but also we keep the heritage, the architectural heritage, and also the industrial function. Historically, the post stay at the basement of the building, but we change the quality of the different functions, and we could merge all in this building for different objects. How can we imagine to develop this new typology in the metropole of tomorrow? Obviously, that is a question, but we have some solution, not one, but several solutions. Thank you.